Cardiothoracic surgeon Dr. Ashok Babu was brought to St. Thomas Health, part of Ascension, Tennessee, to lead the relaunch of the heart transplant program. So you can imagine the feeling when he got the call that a heart was available for a patient at St. Thomas West who was in heart failure.
Hey, thank you.
Dr. Babu and Dr. David Glassford traveled overnight to harvest the heart and brought it to St. Thomas West just before 10 o'clock in the morning. Dr. Babu rolled in the cooler with the new heart packed in ice straight to the operating room where the recipient was already prepped for surgery. It was a momentous occasion for Dr. Glassford, who performed the very first heart transplant in Tennessee at St. Thomas back in 1985. How did that feel to be the first one back in 1985 and now to do it again?
It was a little scarier back in 1985.
Dr. Babu and a room full of medical staff spent the next 6 hours in the OR. It didn't take long for the new heart to be transplanted into the patient. About an hour later, the moment of truth. Look at the monitor in the background. No heartbeat. But a few seconds later, once the new heart is shocked, it begins beating.
When we got the heart beating, its function was quite good. And sometimes they'll be stunned from being out of the body for so long, and luckily this one didn't seem to take that big of an insult.
About 3 hours in, the patient was off bypass, and later in the afternoon was moved from the OR to ICU. The transplant was a success.
Incredibly stressful to do this first one and not know, how things are going to go, but I feel like we had a lot of good things at play. We had a good recipient, good donor, a great team.
St. Thomas Health is back in the heart transplant arena after a 5-year absence. But Don King, the CEO of St. Thomas West and Midtown Hospitals, was quick to point out that it's important to remember the grief being felt on the other side.
Acknowledging the transplant process, the donor and the donor's family, and the circumstances surrounding the loss of life, making sure that we're keeping those folks in our thoughts and prayers, and understanding that is a part of what makes this happen.
With the largest heart failure program in Tennessee, St. Thomas Heart serves more than 5,000 patients each year in its clinics and hospitals. There are more than 20 heart failure patients monthly who may be candidates for a heart transplant. With the return of the program, the hospital will once again provide patients with a full spectrum of heart care from start to finish.
What we were finding is that some of our patients that we were caring for weren't able to get all of their care here, and we ended up sending them out to other programs for the transplant portion.
Ascension is very pleased that we are again providing heart transplant services throughout Tennessee. The heart transplant program at St. Thomas is an important part of Ascension's commitment to providing compassionate, personalized care.